Hello, and welcome to the Community Shares of Illinois interview sessions, the podcast where we give our members a chance to talk about their wonderful organizations and the meaningful work that they're doing. With us today, we have Nicole Frydman from Uniting Pride of Champaign County. How are you today, Nicole?
I am doing really well. How are you today, Andrew?
Good. Glad to have you on. Thanks for coming.
Thank you
And
so much for having me.
yeah, no problem. It's great to hear from our members and get the messages out there. So we'll go right into it. Just to start, how long have you been with Uniting Pride?
Coming up on 2 years.
2 years. Nice. Very good experience. um, and so, just for our members and our listeners that might not be familiar, could you go ahead and tell us what Uniting Pride of Champaign County does with their organization?
Yeah. So we are the LGBTQ plus resource center. Now, in our name, it says of Champaign County, but turns out we're one of only three organizations of our kind in all of downstate Illinois. So when you get just outside of Chicagoland and the entire rest of the state, there's three centers doing the work that we do. Lots of other small organizations or groups who do some portion of the work, but they're just the three centers. So we end up serving a pretty large part of our community. And we exist to do advocacy, education, support groups, and programs and events throughout our community, all with the idea that LGBTQ plus folks deserve to live full and healthy lives, and deserve the opportunity that matches everyone else's. So everything we do is focused on that.
Wonderful. Yeah, definitely very important work. Um, and as kind of an icebreaker kind of thing, I like to ask, what's your favorite part of Uniting Pride's work that you do? Do you have one?
I mean, that's like asking to name a favorite child, but I will attempt. I mean, we were founded around Pride Fest, which is our massively large signature program. Happening again this year, last week of September. We got some stuff up already, but there's a lot more to come. I'm very excited about. But And of course, I love those really large public-facing programs. You know, we are not safe to live fully out and proud on the streets of the communities in which we live. And having Pride programming uh, continues to anchor that, continues to center that. It celebrates the progress we have made, but it also reminds us of the work we still have to come, and brings together a whole bunch of people to show you you're not alone in doing that work. So, of course, I love that kind of stuff. But I think I also really, really love our educational training workshops. So these are workshops that I will do anywhere and everywhere, pretty much anywhere someone will stand still long enough to let me talk at them. I will come in and do some LGBTQ plus cultural competency educational training. This is for workplaces or community groups, faith groups, government agencies, to say educational institutions. I mean, anywhere really, we will come in, and all ages too. We do it all the way from elementary school all the way up to the elders of our communities. And I've done a lot of education over the course of my adult life, and I just love the chance to connect with people and to help grow understanding, to help tap into the empathy that every human has inside them, but sometimes needs a reminder to tap into, right? And I really love to watch the light bulbs turn on and questions get answered and people to grow in their confidence and their understanding and their knowledge. It's truly rewarding work for me. And I feel like we walk out of there with a pretty deep impact. We do surveys after our education, and the responses are consistent across the board. You know, people learn, people grow, people change because of these sessions. So obviously, we're here to talk to folks about, you know, anyone who's interested in helping us do our work. But one of the ways you can help us do our work is to find opportunities for us to come in and do that education. So if anybody out there listening has a room full of people that will let me stand in front of them, we'd love to hear from you.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. I mean, education, everybody needs it. So I'm glad to hear that you're out there getting them educated. Definitely. Um, are there any, is there any new kind of work that's going on lately? Any upcoming events or plans that you wanted to talk about or?
Yeah, I mean, it's Pride Fest, Pride Fest, Pride Fest around here.
Mhm.
One of the things that we started last year, though, was the Mixed Shambana Drag Pageant. So drag pageants are happen all over the place, but we didn't really have one here in our community. And a local drag queen, Peach of the Midwest Carrington, had wanted to start one, and we partnered together. And this is really a beautiful community celebration of the art form, of the folks who, defy gender stereotypes and challenge the negative rhetoric and the misunderstandings that exist out in the world. Last year was super successful, so successful with our first one that this year it's going to be even bigger and better. And so that's really exciting. And that'll be on September 9th. And then the winner of that is our reigning mixed Shambana king or queen, because it's all gendered, and serves the whole year in a position of prominence, a role model and community leader, and will be featured at the Pride Fest, of course, which is at the end of September. So pretty much everything's all about that right now. For those folks who are drag fans, we announced a few months ago now that Lala Ree, who is a RuPaul's Drag Race star, is going to be performing at our Saturday night event this year for Pride Fest. And spoiler alert, sorry if you were waiting to watch for some strange reason, but she was the winner of the All Stars Season Fame Games that literally just ended this summer. So she's hugely famous and a big prominent role model and advocate in the community. And so we're super excited that she's coming to our town. Our big city life, small town life mix of community. And I think that's going to bring a lot of folks out. So we're excited about that. But on the not so happy side, we are also seeing a major influx of what the United Nations calls internal refugees. We're in the midst of an internal refugee displacement crisis. That's what the UN calls it. That's when people are not crossing international borders, but they are crossing borders within their own country to flee persecution. I'm sure the legislation that's going on, the anti-LGBTQ and especially the anti-trans legislation that's going on in most of our neighboring states, is no surprise to anybody. And we really are seeing people by the thousands having to uproot their lives in order to find safe places to live. Illinois is a safe haven state. We are so grateful to our legislative leaders, both locally and statewide, who are making our community a safe place for people to find refuge and to find a home. And Champaign-Urbana becomes a particularly attractive location across a whole bunch of issues. Also partly because, we're, like I said, we're one of only 3 places that have a center located in it. And so we're seeing a lot of people coming into our community with some serious levels of need.
Yeah.
And so we are really at a time when growth is coming at us, whether we want it or not. For organizations like mine, our goal is always that we hope we go out of business, because that means there'd be no more need for the work that we do, but it's going the other way. So while we have these big, beautiful, amazing, affirming celebrations, the fact that our community has this is a reason why people are coming here with a deep level of need. Everything from housing and food, jobs, to know their kids have a safe place to connect and interact, community, and all levels of support. So unfortunately, our need is greater than it's ever been before. And we're looking at all of the ways in which we can meet that need. We already have a small food pantry, and we regularly vet affirming businesses and try to share out jobs when we hear about them. We have support groups and community groups that folks can join and find their community through that. And we have a pretty beautiful network of organizations we know to be affirming, who provide services that we can't provide directly, right? Whether it's healthcare or housing, things of that nature. But boy, do we need some help, because the influx is large, and the need that comes with it is equally large.
Yeah. I mean, and it just underscores the great work that you're doing. I mean, it is a huge need, especially the past few years. Just what's been going on, like you said, with laws in different states, and you're fighting a good fight. They are. Um, so now this is the little bit of a shameless part, self promotion that I do. But do you have like a favorite part of being part of Community Shares of Illinois? Anything that you wanted to talk about that you really find helpful being a member?
Yeah, I mean, we're brand spanking new at this, but already it's been really wonderful to go to the meetings and see our fellow organizations and agencies who are, helping to make this community better, like we are. And it's really lovely to hear from community members who are excited that we're now listed as part of this incredible giving program. It makes it so easy for them to support our work, and the ease of that is opening doors for us, and I'm really excited about that. With our growth need, we need to reach a larger group of folks, right? And so we're excited about the kind of reach that this can help us get. And it's great to build stronger relationships with the other organizations who engage with community shares as well.
Very well, thank you for promoting us. I love that answer. So then to kind of close things out, I'll give you another chance here. Anything you want to talk about? I know you mentioned a little bit about getting help from people, but anything you want to talk about, what donations can help do, any volunteer opportunities you might want to mention, anything really that, you want people to come out and help you with.
Well, I wonder if it's preaching to the choir to tell folks who are engaged with community shares already about the fact that, a small but guaranteed monthly donation is really does make a positive impact to organizations like ours. It may not make a big difference in somebody's individual monthly budget, right? To slide a small amount over to us, but knowing that every month that amount of money is going to come in, and that we can rely on it, and we can make plans for the future because of it, that can be foundationally changing for an organization as grassroots as ours, as small as ours, as young as ours. So, I just hope folks know that, there's never a donation that's too small. There's also never a donation that's too much either. I don't know your life. Maybe you got lots of money. I don't know. but time is huge too, right? So for folks who maybe don't have as much on the money side of things, we have a ton of volunteer opportunities on our website. Folks can go to unitingpride.org to find out about it. Everything from a little one-off where you just volunteer a couple hours at an event, or to help us prep for something. But we also have committees that are ongoing. You meet monthly and you help us work on a particular ongoing project. And then for folks who really think they might want to get deeply engaged, we do have open board seats. We approved the ability to add a few more people to our board than we currently have. And we're always looking for folks who have the time and the passion to devote at a high level. So, but for those of you who don't, there's easy stuff too, and we'll take it.
Well, definitely. I want to thank Nicole Frydman for coming out today. Being on our podcast. Anyone out there listening, I highly recommend checking them out, doing what you can to help. You can also visit our website, communitysharesillinois.org. It's got a link to their website, as well as links to all of our members. But I highly recommend going out there, helping Uniting Pride fight the good fight. And I want to thank again, Nicole, and we'll see you next time on the Community Shares podcast.